Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy Colin. As you can see, I'm having a good old time on the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. We're celebrating all over the country. It's a day of peace. So I think some people didn't get the memo because there's lots and lots of black mob violence and murder on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Why can't everybody just be as peaceful as you and I are?
Now at 9, celebration chaos in South Florida, gunshots ringing out as many observed the MLK holiday. The holiday horror playing out at a South Florida park. Authorities say 8 people were shot.
And now they're searching for answers as to what caused the chaos. We have Team 7 coverage, beginning with 7's Lorena Estrada, live outside the police station in Northwest Miami-Dade. Lorena?
Well, many in the community expressing their disappointment that a day of celebration would end in gun violence. 8 people injured, the ages ranging from 11 to 30.
Hey, get rescued from the corner!
A chaotic scene in the middle of a celebration. Shots fired at Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Park, injuring 5 children and 3 adults. A 20-year-old man was critically injured.
It was too close to home.
Tammy Meeks was here with her son when she heard the shots.
My main goal is to get down, cover them so they wouldn't be harmed.
Many taking cover under tables and behind vehicles.
She also had people that in the panic of it all were injured in the stampede.
Children crying and confused after being separated from their families in the scramble for safety. A scramble fueled by fear that continued long after the shots were fired. Miami-Dade police searched for the shooters in nearby homes, in the end finding 2 guns and taking 2 people in for questioning.
A day like today, we're not going to tolerate this, and we're going to continue to investigate and hopefully find some closure for these victims.
The victims of violence who gathered here in the name of peace.
To spread love and joy, and we couldn't do that. It's senseless, it's sad, and it needs to come to an end.
And here's a little raw footage from the little party they had in Miami.
Rescue's not going to enter here. No. We're going to lift her up. Don't let her fall. Out of the way of the intersection. Hold on. Get back! Get back! Hey, he's got gloves, bro. Another one right there. Back up. There to enter. Hold on. Bring the mother. They're not coming this way. There's another one in the park. Bring the mother. Listen, Uh-oh. Get down now. You got your food? No!
Also on 7, triple trouble at another MLK Day party when a gunman opens fire, hitting 3 people, and this one would turn deadly. The 19's Nicole Ensalada is live in Hallandale Beach with more on the story tonight. Nicole?
Well, Lynn, this was more of a block party out here in Hallandale Beach, right near Foster Park. And as you mentioned, though, this was a big block party. A lot of people out here having a good time. But then there would be shots fired and one person would not survive.
We was out here having a great time. Everybody enjoying themselves. Everybody dancing.
But that great time in the 700 block of Foster Road would turn into this, a crime scene, when, according to neighbors, two people got into an argument.
They said a guy pulled out a gun and shot him twice.
Boo, 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 boo.
So I heard a lot of people scattering.
Everybody went to running and getting out the way.
Police say a total of 3 people hit. One of them would die as the result of his wounds. The others expected to be okay. Police say they took the man they believe is the shooter into custody, but they're still trying to figure out why a dispute turned violent.
It's an unfortunate situation that things like this happen. However, we're going to completely and thoroughly conduct a thorough investigation so we can understand what exactly happened tonight.
That's stupid. We supposed to be out here and enjoy ourselves, and you come do something stupid like that. They didn't do it like we did. We used to fight in the old days, but everybody want to shoot.
Now, so far, they have not identified any of the victims, including the person who passed away, but we are told that was an adult male. They say, once again, that the shooter, the police, the person they believe is the shooter, they are talking to him. They say he is cooperating, and they're hoping they'll be able to figure out why all this happened.
4 people, including a child, have been shot during a block party for the MLK holiday.
It happened tonight as hundreds of people were gathered along MLK Boulevard and Reed Road. Eyewitness News reporter Tracy Clemens is live with the breaking information. Tracy?
Yeah, Melanie, such a sad story out here. A day where we celebrate the ultimate peacemaker ending with this kind of violence on the street that bears his name. Now, I'm going to step out of the shot so you can see what's going on. One of the 4 victims who was shot here at MLK and Reed was a 13-year-old girl. You can still see here hours later, still plenty of police officers out here, and there's still crime tape right around the tire shop where investigators say the shooting happened. It happened right outside of this tire shop. Now, once again, nobody was killed. That's the best news out here, but this is definitely not the way the people out here in South Park wanted to end their biggest party of the year.
When you go down Martin Luther King, a celebration. It's not a gathering of black people that say, oh, well, fight the power. It's not, nobody's fighting the power. We're all celebrating a good day, a good man.
But this year's Martin Luther King Day celebration on Martin Luther King Boulevard in the city's South Park community ended with gunfire at the corner of MLK and Reed.
As officers were in the area, they heard gunfire. They immediately rushed to the location. They found a 13-year-old, an adult female, and an adult male that had been shot. A few minutes later, we got another call that a female had gone down the street to a house where she called the police and medical attention.
HPD says all 4 victims are expected to survive. Valerie Fisher says every year something happens during this celebration, and every year she and thousands of folks come from all over Houston to celebrate again.
We're not going to stop celebrating Martin Luther King Day, and we're going to always be on Martin Luther King. I've been out here 25 years plus, and I will continue to come back here.
Chris Rock does a bit. It's hard to find on YouTube because if anybody else uses it, you get flagged for copyright violation. But there's Chris he's on stage. He's talking about how his friends, called him for help because their car broke down. He said, "Where's your car?" They said, "Martin Luther King Boulevard." Chris said, "There's only one thing you can do if that's the case: run." No matter how often we hear it, it's still astonishing to hear the greatest lie of our generation. But we hear it every day on TVs. We read it every day in the newspaper. Go ahead, pick up your newspaper. Tell me how many stories they have done in the last week on the whole idea of black victimization. I would say 20. And a story like the Smithsonian, the new Black Smithsonian, whatever they're calling it. That's a good example of a story about racial victimization, black victimization of white racism. But despite how often we hear it, no, as a matter of fact, it's weird. I mean, the more we hear it, that kind of raises the bar for all of us to kind of pay attention to what is really happening, which is there's an enormous amount of black mob violence, black on white crime, black on old, black on young, black on gay, black on straight, black on Asian, black on handicapped, that never makes the news, and nobody's ever connecting the dots. They're never saying, hey, what's up with all this black crime that's so wildly out of proportion? No one's ever saying, why are we spending so much time on the myth of black victimization when black people are the ones committing the crimes? They're not the victims, they're the predators. Why is that? I mean, is there anything going on other than the obvious? They just don't want to make the black kids angry?